As parents, we make all the sacrifices in the world for our children to have a better life. Some people cross across the Mediterranean, all so that their children should not experience the life that they experienced growing up. What happened if that child that you made all the sacrifices in the world end up being the one that caused you pain? That is the story, a tragedy that we're about to share with you today. It is an issue that affects most of us, but it's often not talked about. Sit back as we bring you the story of a parent whose own child is the one that caused them the biggest pain. Let us hear what this man is saying. This is very...
When I was lying on the floor, I said it to myself, if help doesn't arrive within a minute, I'll be dead.
Stabbed on his doorstep by his own son, Joshua Obenem remembers how close he was to death.
So I was pleading with him not to kill me because he knows how much I love him.
His son, whose schizophrenia was undiagnosed, killed his wife and seriously injured him and his daughter.
I never even thought it was a murder thing, but I thought he was demonized, that the demons have come to attack him.
When it happened, we reported on the case as a domestic stabbing. But what it reveals is something much more complex. This is a story about how blurred lines between spirituality and mental health led to a family tragedy.
Ben was a very calm boy, respectful, very intelligent. I remember in high school, he was the best engineering student. He was given an award. I was there and I was very happy for him. He had a bright future. He's a child that every parent would love to have him, if not this situation.
Benjamin Obenem was a 22-year-old student who came from a closely knit family. Their lives revolved around the church, and that's where they'd been that Sunday in August last year.
We were just about to go to bed. I just lie down. I was about to fall into sleep, and then my wife told me that she can hear some voice in my elder daughter's room. I saw my son outside the door of my daughter with a knife. So I asked, what is going on? And usually he's someone who listens to me. So I just said, give me the knife. I stretched up my left hand. I held the blade. And then he said, don't try it. And when I got out, I saw that our neighbors, both of them were not in. So I crossed over the street, knocking the door hard and shouting, help, help, please call police, we need help. He just came and met me there. And then he cut my head. So blood was just gushing out. So I did it like this, and then he went into my belly.
He'd rushed out of the house to protect the rest of the family, not knowing the ferocious attack had already torn their lives apart.
I didn't know he had already attacked my elder daughter, and my wife has already been killed. I didn't know that. I thought I was the first person he was attacking. So I was pleading with him not to kill me because he knows how much I love him. And I was lying on the floor and he wasn't giving in. Then a neighbor, she came out. I saw her.
The significance of this story is that just last week, all the way in America, we had the same tragic situation where a professor, a highly respected professor of computer science, took his own father's life. And as we speak today, his sisters, they are still fighting for their life. So the question that we must all ask ourselves as society, why is it that first generation immigrant children, that some of us, we went through everything to get to where we are today? Because we want our children to experience the things that we did not experience growing up, a better life. If you remove the children a lot of us will not be in the Western world. A lot of us will be back home. A lot of us make the sacrifice. We take the pain, the harsh reality of racism and everything that we go through because we believe that there is hope. We want our children to have a better life. Today's issue is a very somber, very sensitive, and it's an issue that we can all relate to. I want to say thank you to one of my fans who shared this story with me, because 1 in 4 of us at some stages in our life, we will have some form of mental health because of culture, taboo, lack of awareness, religion. We are pretending we do not want to address it. We will hear from that man again, because the man said he has never heard of schizophrenia before, that he just believed that by praying it will solve everything. Now, the same applies to the man in America who was killed by his 28 years old son, this boy. This boy, the parent loved this boy unconditionally. The father is a professor. He had the opportunity to tell the child to live in a mental health home. But because of the love that the father had for the child, that is why the professor insisted that the son lives with him. And it's that decision that has cost the professor his life. The case of this Ghanaian woman who was killed in Manchester by her own son. The man said if he knew about schizophrenia and other form of mental health, he would not have relied solely on prayer. So the question that I'm asking all of us, because we all pretend that this thing doesn't exist until it happens to someone close to us. That is when it resonates home. So this is why today's issue that we're talking about, it's very, very important. In less than 2 weeks, we are hearing stories of people like me and you who were born in Africa, who made all the sacrifices to move to the Western world because we want to give our children a better life. And it's that children that you love so dearly that will end up not taking your life. Now, who do you blame for the death that we're talking about today? Is it the parent? Is it culture? Is it lack of awareness? Is it society? What is your view? Because this issue that we're talking about today, it's a very, very sensitive issue because we need to talk. This is not the time for us to pretend.
And she was shouting at him,
okay,
stop, Ben, stop. Don't do that to your daddy. Don't do that to your daddy. Then that was all I heard. And then I passed out. I just went off.
In the weeks before the attack, Benjamin had been acting strangely, and his family were concerned.
He was telling me things, like he was seeing things, and I thought it was demonic attack that he's got. I wouldn't say he was demonic, but he was demonized. That's what I thought. And so he was saying things, and sometimes I tell him, no, this is not what you're saying. It's not true. This is not that. And then he was praying a lot, so I was also praying with him. Sometimes I pray for him for long hours.
Benjamin believed his mother and sister were witches who were trying to harm him. He'd not seen a mental health professional about his symptoms, but after his arrest, he was held under the Mental Health Act.
Do you wish you believed it now? Do you wish you had flagged it up to the relevant mental health authority?
Sure. If the thing is, I had not. They said he's got schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah. If I had not even heard of that word, if I knew, I would have taken the initiative. I would have done something about it, because it's not. Praying for someone to get healed doesn't mean the person doesn't need medical attention. It's a regret.
So as you heard from that man, he said he hadn't heard about schizophrenia before that thing. But there are a lot of people in our society. They know that their child or their relative is going through some mental health problem, but because of shame, because of the way other people will see them, they don't want to seek help. They believe that prayer alone, it is spiritual attack, it is demonic attack, the evil forces, they don't want you to progress, and they are the ones that after you pray. Don't get me wrong, brethren. I believe in prayers, but at the same time, when I wake up in the morning, I go to work, and that is my miracle. I don't believe that you can pray alone, that will solve the problem. We've heard stories of 2 Africans who died. A professor in America who was killed in his own house by the child that he loved dearly. The home that he built with his own money, the son killed him. And we heard the story of this man who is mourning the wife. He was killed by his own son in the house. Now we need to start this conversation. We need to start educating ourselves. Let us not pretend that it is spiritual attack, that we shouldn't talk about it. The sad reality that we are sharing with you today is that a woman who should not have died today because of her son whom she carried in her womb was the one that killed her in her home, which is supposed to be a place of safety and love. This could have been avoided if the man had sought help for the child. May the soul of this woman rest in peace. If you know anyone who will benefit, because we need to start the conversation. It's not only when it happened to someone else, you think it will never happen to me, but it's when it happened to you or someone close to you, that is when it will hit home. Let us start talking about mental health in our community today. Let us start encouraging people. When you see somebody that you know before, all of a sudden is struggling to get up in bed, is struggling to do the thing they used to do, is becoming withdrawn, is becoming that you're noticing changes, you need to urgently encourage them to seek help, because that could be early signs of mental health. You can do your part by giving this video a like, share with other people. Let us start the conversation. Mental health is real. It is not spiritual attack. It is not something that you should be ashamed of. Even me that is here today, I have experienced some form of mental health issues in my life, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. What is your thought? Do you have any sympathy for these 2 families who have lost their loved ones and they were killed in their own home by their children? Let me know what your views are. Share this video with anyone. Give it a like. Subscribe to this